The response of the British people has been overwhelming, and they have shown extraordinary generosity, and that stands in very stark contrast to the response of this government. I can genuinely say that this is one of these times where I feel incredibly proud of our country, but I feel ashamed of this government. The response has been shambolic and shameful, and I wish to outline some examples of my constituents and their families to highlight how the absurd and crushing misery of Home Office bureaucracy has impacted on people fleeing Ukraine. One of my constituents has a 74-year-old mother. She is frail and in poor health. She's escaped Russian invasion for the second time. She applied for a UK visa on the 5th of March. She was in Krakow. She was told to travel to Rzeszów to get her biometrics. On the 7th of March, this 74-year-old woman, frail and in poor health, queued for 7 hours in the freezing cold just to get to her appointment. She was then told she would receive confirmation within 72 hours, but she was told she had to travel back to Warsaw, where she would then get her passport stamped and she could make her way with her daughter to the UK. It is now 1 week on, and her daughter, my constituent, is stuck in a hotel whilst they wait for the email. I raised this with the urgent inquiries line at the Home Office, but have had no reply. My caseworker this morning went to talk to the caseworker desk in Portcullis House, and they said, oh yes, it's been approved, it was approved last Thursday, but we haven't told her yet.
What? Protect us.
We then rang my constituent and her mother. They turned up to the embassy anyway on the off chance. They had just been told within the same 10 minutes that it had been approved, but the embassy wasn't sure if it could print out the sticker today, and if it can't print out the sticker today, then they'll have to come back tomorrow. This woman is traumatised. She is exhausted, and her daughter is spending money on food and hotels and flights that they simply can't afford. To summarise, a 70-year-old woman applying to come to the UK has been asked to travel 855 miles over the course of 9 days, and she's waiting for a sticker to be printed. So will the Minister apologise to her and to everybody else like her who has been put through such an awful situation? Another constituent and his family, well, they've been lucky because actually they have now gone through the process and they're now in a position where they can book their flights to come here. But they wrote to me last night and asked if I could share with the Minister the stark contrast between the support they received in Poland and the bureaucratic nightmare of being processed by the UK authorities. In Poland, they told me, checks at the border take a matter of minutes. We were made to feel welcomed and safe. They said the UK's process had been a nightmare. They fled Kyiv for Poland on the 5th of March. On the 9th of March, they finally managed to get their biometrics done in Warsaw after completing forms which took hours on a mobile phone. 2 days later, on the 11th of March, they got an email saying the decisions were ready, but the Home Office wouldn't tell them what the decision actually was. So the next day, they had to go back to the visa application centre, and there their passports were stamped. But one person's, the mother-in-law's visa, was stamped, but her partner's was not. They were told there just isn't enough time today to get it printed.
Oh, make a time.
Come back tomorrow.
Make a time.
Finally, all the paperwork is in place. They have managed to book flights to come back tomorrow, but it has taken them 10 days. The constituent sister wrote this to me, and I quote, "They were already exhausted and traumatised when they arrived in Warsaw. British bureaucracy added to their misery. Their very modest savings have been seriously depleted by the 8-day hotel stay. At least my family had my brother, a British citizen, to help them navigate the red tape. It must be doubly difficult for those who don't have that advantage and who don't speak good English. The government must do much, much more and quickly turn this convoluted system into something that is user-friendly for Ukrainians." I have other constituents on top of this. And many of them have said to me that they're confused. They're confused about whether they need to now attend appointments which they've secured in the coming weeks, given the rule changes that apparently are coming into place tomorrow, that biometrics can be done in the UK. They have asked the visa application centres whether they still have to go to these appointments, and they haven't got an answer. I've asked the Home Office MP hotline, and I haven't had an answer. And my caseworker went to the casework hub earlier at 20 minutes to 4, just over an hour ago, and they still didn't have an answer. So can the Minister give us an answer to that question today? It is time. It is abundantly clear from these examples that it is now time to waive the visa requirement before people come here. It is cruel to impose these layers of bureaucracy on traumatised refugees who are trying to escape war and join their families. I have got dozens of constituents, like many members, who are willing to offer spare rooms, in lucky cases spare homes, to Ukrainian families. I have one constituent who is the owner of a hotel chain. He says that he can offer work and accommodation to Ukrainian refugees immediately, but he cannot get hold of any information on how to do it. Refugee Action has indicated that there are experienced refugee and asylum charities who have a wealth of experience, and they say that they have not been consulted by the Home Secretary. Why not? So, Mr. Chair, thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak this afternoon. It is abundantly clear from examples of my constituents and constituents of many other members that this Home Office bureaucracy is causing untold misery on top of the existing misery of those who are fleeing war. Please, can the Home Office just sort this out?
Well said.
Charles Darby.